So, welcome to yet another concert in our spectacular year. This concert is a little different in that I was approached by Lori Lieberman to do something that was integrated into our religious school, and sort of serendipitously, the Lasky family also has a long history of doing the arts through Judaism, through the religious school. Years ago, it was mostly a high school retreat, and it's sort of taking on a new life. So we had a happy circumstance where we have a series of events that are sponsored by one or the other, and it gave us the opportunity to have Alan Goodis here, sort of the way he travels around the country. So Alan, for those that don't know, travels all over the country doing like scholar in residence weekends, and working with different congregations, different clergy staffs on experimental worship, working with kids, composing music. And while we see him here periodically, and we've worked together for now 12, at least 12, maybe longer years, I think since maybe 2009 or 10. So
I'm not very good at math. That
yes,
would be
but
around
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, so, and it's been an absolute joy and privilege to work with Alan all these years, but we don't get this opportunity where Alan is here as the featured performer, as the scholar in residence, and then also having the ability to bring forth the work that he does in on a Sunday and then carry it forth. So there are a series of events. Alan worked with the kids last week. Again, this week before Shabbat service, you saw Alan with Selah, which Alan and I started many years ago. But Alan isn't here on weekends, so I've been limping along, sustaining them as best I can. And so Alan, had the opportunity to rejoice with them this evening and work with them, and then this concert, and then this coming Sunday, more work with the kids, and yet another concert. So what a blessing this is that Lori Lieberman and her parents' memorial fund, Zali and Elaine Frank Memorial Fund, has helped make this happen, along with the Lasky family in memory of Jeffrey Lasky. The Jeffrey Lasky Memorial Arts Retreat used to be in the fall, and for those that don't remember it or don't know about it, it was developed as the result of a desire to do something special in memory of Jeffrey, who died from Reye's syndrome. And their family became activists in eradicating Reye's syndrome. And it now pretty much doesn't exist, right? Because we discovered the link between aspirin and the early death of children from taking aspirin when they were too young to be taking it, or the parents, children. So it's a great joy and honor for me to welcome my dear friend and colleague, Alan Goodis, here for a wonderful evening. So.
I thought it'd be nice if we maybe start and sing something together. Let's see if you can spot this one. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. You sound really good singing. Won't you look down upon me, Moses? You gotta help me understand. You just gotta see me through another day. My body is aching and my time is at end. I won't make it any other way. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. I've been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. For hours of time on the telephone lines, talking about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you. I always thought that I'd see you. I always thought that I'd see you again. This is a setting of Hal'li, Nafshi, and Adonai. It comes from Psalms. Oh, my soul sings to you. Oh, my soul sings to you. Hal'li, Nafshi, et Adonai. Hal'li, Adonai, Hal'la, Adonai, b'chayai, azamra, Elohai, be'odi, Hal'li, nafshi, et Adonai. Adonai, Hal'la, Adonai, b'chayai, azamra, Elohai, be'odi. In my ears it rings, my lips will sing sweet words of love and praise. To you and you alone, my soul will only sing this song. And every time I sing your name, I hold the hope that you will bring the pieces of this shattered world together to be one. My soul, my soul, my soul sings to you. My soul, my soul, my soul sings to you. My Thank you so much. All right. This next song comes to us from Pirkei Avot, which Pirkei Avot is translated to the teachings of our fathers, really the teachings of our ancestors. And I am not a great Hebrew scholar, but I've learned, I pick up little things as I travel from people, and then I get to repeat them, and people look back at me and sometimes say, that's very profound. And I'm just like, I heard that in New Jersey. But Pirkei Avot is these little teachings, which can be maybe thought of as little life lessons, wisdom. And it's a book, but what I heard, which I thought was interesting, is that it's not organized in any particular way. It's just like, you know, the little things that when you're a kid and your parents are like, take an umbrella with you when it rains, and wait 30 minutes to go back in the pool after eating. And it's just this sort of myriad of things. But right at the very beginning, the very first parak is Al Shloshah Devarim, which tells us the whole entire world stands upon three things. And I remembered learning this back when I was a kid in Sunday school. And the way I remember our teacher teaching it to us, I was probably in like third grade. They said, okay, guys, the whole world stands on three things. The first thing, Torah. We all know what the Torah is. Avodah, which is work or service to God. Third thing, Gimilut Chasadim. And then I remember the teacher going, now take your three fingers, turn them upside down. Imagine this is a table or a chair or a stool with three legs, and sitting on top of it is the world. What would happen if one of those legs were to break off? The table would fall over. And that's where they ended the lesson. And I was thinking of this years later and thinking like, but wait a minute, what about the world? Isn't that kind of important? What happens to the world? And years later, I turned to a rabbi friend and asked them this when I was looking at this text, and he said, I think that's kind of the point, is that we don't want to find out what happens if we let that third leg break off. So let's make sure we keep ourselves nice and sturdy. So this is Al Shloshah Devarim. Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al HaAvodah ve'al Gimilut Chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al HaAvodah ve'al Gimilut Chasadim. Can't let you slip, won't let you fall. I gotta help the world stand tall. I hear your voice, there is no choice. The world is bigger than us all. Al Shloshah Devarim Ha'olam Omed. Al Shloshah Devarim Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al HaAvodah ve'al Gimilut Chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al HaAvodah ve'al Gimilut Chasadim. Don't be a slave who serves to gain a reward that holds no truth. You and I've got work to do. Carry me, I'll carry you. Al Shloshah Devarim Ha'olam Omed. Al Shloshah Devarim Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al HaAvodah ve'al Gimilut Chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al HaAvodah ve'al Gimilut Chasadim. Thank you. In the summertime, often I get to visit Jewish summer camps all around the country. The Reform movement has a system of, I think it's 14 camps right now, all over the place that serve kids in different regions of the country. The regional camp that serves kids in Chicago, part of the Reform movement, is Asrui, if you've heard of Asrui. And in the camp that serves a lot of kids on the East Coast is a summer camp called Eisner Camp, which serves kids from New York and Massachusetts and Connecticut and sort of the whole Northeast. And I've had great pleasure of getting to go there and spend a lot of time with them in the summer. And probably 10 years ago, their camp director, this guy by the name of Louis Boardman, called me on the phone in October. So camp starts in like June. So he called me in October and he was like, Alan, I would love for you to come to camp this summer. What do you think about coming here in July? You'll spend a week with us and maybe it'd be fun. You could write a song with some of our kids. I said, okay, sure, sounds great. I said, all right, here are the dates. Here's whatever. We'll show up, get to camp. So thought nothing of it. Great, I'm going back to Eisner camp. This will be fun. I get to camp on a Sunday. Louis sees me. He's like, hey, let's go chat in my office. So we walk into Louis's office. And he's like, all right, here's the plan. I said, okay. Today is Sunday. I said, yes. Today, you're just arriving at camp. So you're just going to settle in. Great, no problem. Tomorrow is Monday. So we would like you to start writing the song with our kids. Okay. So tomorrow on Monday at 9 a.m., there will be a group of 7-year-olds who are going to come and work with you for 1 hour. All right. Then an hour later, there will be a group of 8-year-olds, and they will come and work with you for 1 hour. All right. Then an hour after that, 9-year-olds come, 10-year-olds. Then you get lunch. Thank you. Then all the way up to 15-year-olds. That's Monday. Okay. Tuesday. Same thing. All right, great. Wednesday, trip day. Everyone's leaving camp, okay? Thursday, everybody back together. You're gonna be working on the song. I'm starting to get confused. Thursday, you're working the song. Friday is Shabbat at camp. So Friday, you're gonna get up and you're gonna sing the song that you wrote to our 550 campers, our 300 staff. Our board of directors is coming up here, along with leaders of the reform movement from New York City. There'll be about 1,000 people, maybe 1,100, Alan, and you're gonna get up and you're gonna sing that song that you wrote. And I kind of look back, I'm like, how many songs are we writing? And how are the 7-year-olds are here then, and the 14-year-olds, and when will they come together? And he was like, I'm sure you'll figure it out. So I said, all right, and I said, what are we writing a song about, Louis? And he said, well, I want us to write a song about this idea of being an upstander. He said, here at Eisner Camp, we embrace the teaching from Pirkei Avot, which comes from Lo Alecha Cham L'cha Ligmor, which says, even if the task before you was so big and so great and so grand that you in your whole lifetime will never get a chance to complete that work, you still have to help do your part. And he's like, we've ingrained this idea into our kids, and we have this T-shirts that say, be the one. And all our kids have this incredible sense that they can go out and change the world. And he's like, and I think about that we've done such a great job telling our kids they can go change the world. And then on the other hand, I think, so what? We've just told them they can do it, and they just believe they can do it, but they're not doing it. So we need a song that's about action. So I said, all right, great. So Monday, the 7-year-olds arrive. We're in a small little room, and I basically shared exactly what Louis said. And I said, all right, well, if you guys had like a billboard, and you could write a few short phrases on that billboard about what it means to go out and change the world, what would you write? And they all started saying things like, well, we have to stand up for what we believe in. We have to have courage. We can't give up even if the task before us is difficult. So I wrote these things down. I said, that's really interesting. And then the next hour, the 8-year-olds came, and I asked them the same question. And they started repeating the same things over and over and over again, all the way up to the 15-year-olds in the afternoon. And then we started kind of messing around. That night, I went back to my room when I had a break, and I started like looking at what they wrote and singing like this. I was like, what if it's like, stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. And the next day I went back and sat with the kids and was like, guys, I looked at what we wrote yesterday. I had this idea. What do you think about this? Stand up, go be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. And they were like, we like that. That's good. Let's keep going. And so we kept going and sort of mining at this. And I said, let's keep writing these words. And I never had this whole group together. And we'd just take these little puzzle pieces. And then I thought, you know what? We're a Jewish camp. We should have Hebrew. And do you know what they have at Jewish camps? Rabbis. So I went to the rabbis, who are known as the faculty of the camp. And I was staying in like the same quarters as them. and they were, I think, playing like canasta or bananagrams, some rabbinic game that they were playing one evening, and I was like, I have a question, everybody. I've been working on this song, about we're going to be singing on Friday, and are there any Jewish teachings that speak to this idea of stand up, be courageous, don't stop even when whatever before you is really difficult? And they all looked up from the bananagrams and politely said to me, yes, there is, Alan. There's this Hebrew text, Chazak ve'ematz al ta'arotz ve'al techat. And I said, what does that mean? And they said that means stand up, be of good courage, and do not be slowed down or stopped or dismayed because something before you is really tough. And I said, where does this text come from? And they said, well, this comes from, first it was Moses. Moses was told he was nearing the end of his life, believed to live to be 120, and Moses bestowed these words onto Joshua, and then Joshua onto the Jewish people, and on they went in their journey. So this song was written, all the words were written by those kids who were 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 15. We did get to gather finally on a Friday right before the service and sing the song, and then now I will share it with you. This is called Stand Up. I've got the power, I've got the tough, I am daring enough to be heard. I've got the grit, I've got the spark, I am a light when the world gets dark. Stand up and go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up and go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. We'll band together, we'll heed the call. We are relentless, we won't fall. We'll break the ceiling, we'll touch the sky. They clip our wings and we still fly. Stand up, go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Chazak ve'ematz al ta'arotz ve'al techat. 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 Stand up, go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Stand up, go, be courageous, be strong, make it contagious, don't stop. You've got the fight. Thank you, thank you. This next song, I'm reminded of my dad. My dad passed away this March of last year, and one of the lessons he kind of left with me, I remember this as a kid, it was always this like, what do you need that for? It's one of those. Story my parents often tell is, I grew up in Toronto, and Roots, the clothing company, when I was a kid, had these like bomber-style jackets with leather sleeves, and they were really cool. And this would be like a Canada Goose jacket now, where you're like a parent and you're like, why am I spending $600 on a jacket for you? It's not gonna fit in like a month. And so I remember the story my parents tells it, my sister and I kept asking for these jackets. So my mom and dad took us to a Roots store, and they had us try on the jackets. And we tried them on. They're like, you guys like how those look? Yeah, they look great. All right, let's see how much they cost. And they show us the price tags, and we're like, huh, that's a lot of money. And so we didn't get the jackets. But my dad always, it was like, what do you need that for? So that I often think of my dad as that he was a pious person, or he was someone who was not tempted by the things around him, and just happy with his lot and this wonderful Jewish teaching, which is, who is rich? The one who is happy with what they have. And I wrote this song. I was leaving Las Vegas, which is all about excess. And I was on the airplane, and I started like humming this, and it came to me. And then I was reminded of, but what do you need that for? So this is a song called Nothing More. I want lots of money, want a big house and a fast car. Don't want to work, want it all to come easy. I want so much more. I've got all I ever needed. I need nothing more. If I open my eyes and let the light in, I need nothing more. I need nothing more. I've got a heart that's beating. I've got so much air in my lungs. I got a strong will I've gotta believe in. I've got so much more. I've got all I ever needed. I need nothing more. If I open my eyes and let the light in, I need nothing more. One day I'll be old and restless. One day when I fade to black, will I care it all about all my money, my big house and my fast car? I've got all I ever needed. I need nothing more. If I open my eyes and let the light in, I need nothing more. I've got all I ever needed. I need nothing more. If I open my eyes and let the light in, I need nothing more. I need nothing more. I need nothing more. This next song is inspired by the Torah portion, Vayetze, which is the story, if you remember, of Jacob's dream. Jacob's ladder, the story where Jacob, angry with his twin brother Esau, because Esau has stolen what Jacob believes to be his birthright. And he sets off on his own, wandering, and then, much like many of these moments, something happens, a divine thing, a bush burning perhaps, a dream, something presents itself as something bigger than Jacob. So that's what this song is inspired by. There's a part we can all sing. It's just the word home. Just the word home. I'll sing it to you, and we can join together every time it rolls around. Oh, home. Oh, home. Try with me. Don't be afraid. Oh, home. That sounds good, but we need more of you. Oh, home. When I left home, I was selfish and angry, was running for my life. I had to escape the hurt and the hate after I took what was mine. The sun has set upon me, think I'll stop for the night. The stones at my feet, they will come into need. Lay my head down, I am tired. I dreamed I climbed a ladder, closer to heaven with every rung. There were angels all around, going up and going down. You were in this place and I didn't know. When I woke up, I was scared and anxious, unsure of what I saw. I picked my head off the stone, found a place of my own. Here with you, I can go home. If home is where the heart is, I left my heart at home. And I should have known I wasn't alone. I'm the last one to know. If you will stay with me, then I will know you're mine. And if you'll protect me, I'll never leave your side. You were in this place and I didn't know. And now I know I'm going home. And now I know I'm going home. Thank you so much for staying and being here. It was funny. I'm delighted you all are here, and I was also thinking, I'm here all the time. Why would they stay? That's so nice of everybody. And before services, David Polish was like, "Are you nervous for tonight?" It's like, "No. Should I be nervous for tonight?" He's like, "I don't know. Are you?" And I'm like, "No." And then Henry was like, "Are you nervous for tonight?" I'm like, "No, should I be nervous tonight?" And I was here on Sunday. A few people who work here were like, "We're very excited for Friday." I was like, "Why? What's happening Friday? You're making me all uncomfortable." But it's great to be here, and I will say it's interesting that usually or often when I do these types of things, it's where I'm meeting a community for the very first time, or I'm maybe returning to a community that I've been to a few times. But here, I was like, well, I know all these people. They know a lot of my tricks, so it won't be. So and some of the songs that we sing in services and stuff, we already know those. So nobody's gonna be like, they'll be like, yeah, we've heard Baruch Hu, man. Okay, we've heard Lecha Dodi. Not impressing us today. So I went a little deeper to bring something extra special, but truly grateful that you all are here. It's a treat, and glad we get to do this. So this next song comes to us from Psalms. This is Psalm 121, which says, "I lift my eyes to the mountain, and I ask, where will my help come from?" And King David of Psalms says, "My help will come from God, maker of heaven and earth." And this is one of the first Jewish songs I remember writing, and I remember looking at this and thinking this is something maybe for people who need some healing. So if you are in need of some healing tonight, this is dedicated to you. I look up you're not there. I'm not ready, I'm not prepared. I need strength to climb. I reach and still I find that I'm weak and I'm scared. Essa Einai el Harim me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. Essa Einai el Harim me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. I need rest, I can't sleep. Awake and still I grieve. Oh, if I fall out of reach, don't leave me be. Essa Einai el Harim me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. Essa Einai el Harim me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. Where is my joy when the world's turned dark? And where is my faith when I am torn apart? And where is my strength till the pain subsides? Where is the light when I can't realize? Let rest be upon me. Let peace be with me. Let rest be upon me tonight. No one deserves to be forgotten. No one deserves to fade away. No one should come and go and have no one know that it matters that they are here. No one deserves to disappear. To disappear. To disappear. Disappear. To disappear. Essa Einai el Harim me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. Essa Einai el Harim me'ayin yavo yavo Izri. Thank you. This past year, last year, a year ago, March, I was invited to a congregation in Cincinnati, Ohio called Rockdale Temple. They're actually, it was their, believe it or not, it was their 200th anniversary. And I was like, what happened 200 years ago? And they were like, people would come here on horseback. It was crazy. And they said, well, we're having a special celebration. Could you come and visit us in March? And could we commission you to write a song for us? I said, all right, what would you like me to write? And they said, well, the priestly benediction, Yevarechecha Adonai, is a very, very, very special blessing to us here. She said, we have the Rabbi Meredith Kahan. She was like, we have photos going back like 200 years of our rabbis bestowing this blessing onto people. And this is one of these amazing blessings. If you're ever here at NSCI for a B'nai Mitzvah, beautiful moment at the Ark, after one of the clergy bless the Barb mitzvah child, they have a private blessing with them, and then their parents come up and they say these words of blessing. And these are words that for most Jewish people are often said at a B'nai Mitzvah. If you were had a baby naming, it was probably said then. If you ever get married, it's probably said then. So these are these beautiful special words. So took it to task, and then we ended up, when I was visiting the congregation, I was like, what if we record the song? I'll bring a couple microphones and we can record it. And what if we get 200 voices of people in the congregation to sing? So that's what we did. So if you pick up the melody and want to add your voice, that would be a real treat. So this is Yivarechecha. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka Essa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom ken yehi ratzon. May God bless and keep you forever and ever. May you be kind and gracious to one another. May the light upon your face surround you every day. And may God grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. That's the whole thing. You can join me. Yivarechecha Adonai. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka Essa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom ken yehi ratzon. May God bless and keep you forever and ever. May God bless and keep you forever and kind and gracious. May you be kind and gracious to one another. May the light upon your face surround you every day. Surround you every day. May God grant you peace. May God grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. Ken yehi ratzon. Ken yehi ratzon. Amen. Amen. Beautiful. I've got a few more I would love to sing with you all. So there's every so often I will have moments where I'm listening to just music. Maybe it pops up in like a movie, a TV show. I'm in the car driving, and I will have what I will describe as like a very secular, spiritual experience where you hear a song and you're like, this is speaking to me in a way with a level of depth and that I'm maybe not accustomed to. And when I first heard this song, I was struck that way. This is by a singer-songwriter who was originally from Seattle, and now he lives in Nashville. His name is Noah Gunderson. I'm like a huge Noah Gunderson fan. My friend Dan is also. We are both huge Noah Gunderson fans, to the point that last year when he was here, my friend Dan traveled here on an airplane so we could go see Noah Gunderson. And you're all probably like, who's Noah Gunderson? And that's what all my friends are like, who's Noah Gunderson? Why is your friend here? And so we went to this like teeny little place. It was in Evanston, believe it or not. And we at Space. And we paid extra for the VIP tickets. And we were in a room where there were like 9 people. And he just walked out with a guitar and was like, hey guys, thanks for the VIP package. Is there a song you'd like to sing? And Dan and I are both just like hands up, like, yes, we have requests. And so this is one of those songs. But Song of Gratitude, this is a song called Honest Song. as we gather around the table and say a prayer for those we love. All the words that will be spoken, they will never be enough to encompass all the feelings that our brittle hearts can bear. All the storms that rage inside us fill our organs up with air, and the sound it makes is an honest song. Our heart sings an honest song. All the time spent catching raindrops, all the time we've spent in bed, all the hours we have wasted, we will never see again. Oh, be good with what you're given, for it's all we have to give. We are only passing shadows in a mighty wind, and the sound it makes is an honest song. Our heart sings an honest song. Though I tremble in the darkness, in the cold and frozen snow, I am grateful for the winter comes to show that our trouble's never over, and our work is never done. With the turning of new seasons, we will always see the sun, and the sound it makes is an honest song. Our heart sings an honest song, and the sound it makes is an honest song. Our heart sings an honest song. So I think it was like 2007 or 8, I was invited to a congregation in Denver, Colorado, and they said, we'd love to host you for the weekend. We're having like a big teen event going on, a retreat, a conclave type thing happening. If you'd like, you could come in instead of arriving Friday. Why don't you fly in Thursday? Because we're going to go up to Estes National Park, and we're going to take a group of high school seniors, like 75, maybe 100 of them. We're going to go hiking that morning, and then we'll go back to the temple and gather. What do you think? And I had no kids, and so I was like, great, let's do it. If I was asked to do that now with kids, I would also say, that sounds great. Oh, sorry, I have to leave Thursday. But get out there Thursday. I don't know anyone there. Nobody. Meet up with this group of kids out in the mountains and start walking. And it was a day, it was probably, 65 degrees, really nice. And as I said, I don't know nobody. I start talking to this very friendly guy named Jay. Jay's a few years older than me. We're chatting as we're hiking up this mountain. And then I notice it starts getting a little colder, and I'm kind of underdressed. And then I start like gasping like pretty heavily, and I'm like, this isn't a very intense hike. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, I thought I was in okay shape. And then Jay turns to me and he's like, did anybody talk to you about altitude? And I said, what's altitude? He goes, oh, drink this water. So I started drinking water and feeling a little bit better. And then we finally reached the top of this mountain in Estes National Park. I'm chatting with Jay the whole time, and then Jay says to me, he's like, excuse me for a second, Alan, and he steps away from our conversation. There's 100 high school seniors. They're all pretty rowdy and talking, and then Jay suddenly kind of commands the room, and it's just to everybody. He just goes, stop. And we all stop. And we all look at Jay. And Jay says, everybody, I want to lead you in a blessing. The blessing is, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shekacha lo be'olamo. Shekacha lo be'olamo. And he translates that, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us something such as this. It was the first time I heard that blessing. It was also when I met Rabbi J. Talrav from the congregation I was visiting. So I walk back down this mountain with Jay, or now Rabbi Talrav, and I said, Rabbi, tell me more about this blessing. I know lots and lots of blessings for different things, but you translated it as for this, which, no offense, is a little ambiguous. And he was like, that's the idea. This is a blessing, you say, in nature when seeing or experiencing moments of beauty for the very first time. And it comes from the Babylonian Talmud, and I thought that was super cool. And I came home, and I met up with a friend and said, I just learned this cool blessing. Let's write a song. And we sat at, she made lunch, and we talked about it, and then we sat at her piano, and we wrote this song so we can sing it together. It sounds like this. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, who has given us this in the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, Shekacha lo beolamo, who has given us this in the world. That's the whole thing. First two lines you can sing right back to me. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, Adonai. Together we sing ruler, ruler of the universe. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, who has given us this in the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, Shekacha lo beolamo, who has given us this in the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, Shekacha lo beolamo, who has given us this in the world. Who has given us this in the world. Who has given us this in the world. So because I'm a good friend, before I invite Cantor Goldstein up here to sing the last couple songs with me tonight, I'm going to talk about Cantor Goldstein, which he'll definitely cry. He will for sure cry. But truly gratitude, endless gratitude for this community. Cantor and I remember meeting David 15 years ago. We went where all great things happened to Panera in downtown Glencoe. And we met for coffee. And what I remember about this meeting was we'd never met each other, and he was like, tell me your story. And I was like, well, I grew up in Toronto, and I went to Jewish summer camp, and I started playing music because of being at summer camp, and that sort of led me down this path. And Cantor shared his story about growing up and being involved in music and all these things, and it was one of these like, wow, this is so interesting. We have such opposite, and it was formal training, classically trained, a lot of degrees that like cover walls, and then like I play a D chord pretty well, and I sing okay. And but I remember having this sense of like, this is a really interesting person, someone I would love to get to know and work with. And I was relatively new to Chicago and like kind of bouncing around to some local places and trying to get some gigs out of town. And we had this great meeting, and we left the meeting, and then that was it. And a whole year went by, and I get an email a year later, and I remember the email saying something to the effect of like, I would love to meet again. And we met again, and he said, I wasn't ready a year ago. I said, I think we're ready now. I think the congregation is ready now. And I was like, ready for what? And he was like, well, we have all these kids here at the congregation. And we have some of these kids who are here who are studying like Suzuki violin and piano and formally trained kids. And he's like, and I think I have an idea of how to work with those kids. Like, and then we have this other group of kids who play like electric guitars, and they go to summer camp, and they don't read music. And I would love if we could find a way to bring everyone together. So, okay, it sounds awesome. And so what I remember is we set a calendar for like a whole year. It was like every other Sunday we would meet first in Frank Hall, sometimes here, depending whatever was going on. They'd kind of bounce us around the room, and there'd be this very small group of kids who would gather because Cantor Goldstein invited them to, and because we made space for them. And we would work on music for services. And we would just keep working on these songs for a long time. And I remember periodically, like Rabbi Mason was still here at the time, and they'd stick their head into Frank Hall and kind of look around like, what are these guys doing in there? they'd hear these kids singing, and I remember Rabbi Green's kids who were like about this big coming in, and now they're singing with Selah, but they're coming in and just like, what's happening in here? And there was a lot of this, and I remember having feelings of like, what's happening here? Because we're kind of incubating. We're just here in this very small group. And I remember Cantor, one of the many things I've learned from him was this idea, is like, just being together, that's what's important. And I was like, but what's the goal of this? What are we working towards? And he said, we have to give this time to see what this is. And so we gave this a lot of time and a lot of time, and this was so foreign to me, because every other congregation I'd ever worked at, ever visited, everything, often things like this where something new was happening, somebody would walk into the room and start counting heads and then go back to an office and maybe look at a budget and say, we're spending how much money for this many people, and if we break that down per head, that's a lot of money, or what are we doing? And I remember a week where one kid showed up, and I thought, this is the end, this is it. And I remember Cantor saying, opportunity for impact is greatest with fewer. And I was like, who says that? People don't say that. And I've learned tremendous amount from this, and that Selah then, after that, at the end of the year, led a service. And then Cantor Goldstein said to me, he said, could you join us here maybe for the holy days this year? I said, I'd love to do that. And then I think now we want Selah to maybe participate in some Shabbat services and other things. And every year for the last 15 years or so, we think, I've had this incredible opportunity to be here with this community and for this to be my home, which is why on nights like this, when there's, 80 people who are like, we're going to stay after services till 9 o'clock to listen to the guy who we hear sing all the time sing, that it's tremendous and it's awesome and it's very special. And I'm very grateful to my friend, my teacher, my mentor, my partner, David, for the opportunities that he has given to me here in this community, and that, and I will add as well that Cantor Goldstein is known not just here, but he is known throughout the country. And early on, when I started coming here, or when I started working and doing stuff at NSCI and going to other congregations, and people would go, well, where do you do stuff in Chicago? And I go, North Shore Congregation Israel. Who's the cantor there? It's like David Goldstein. Like, David Goldstein lets you sing at NSCI? I was like, yeah. And then I think some of them were like, maybe we should let you sing in our community and open a door for a guy like you to come in and sing a song that's in a major key and maybe has some English or whatever it might be. So tremendous gratitude, of course, to Cantor Goldstein for all of these years of partnership and friendship. And this is not the end. I'm not leaving either. Someone the other day was like, the way I read tonight made it seem like maybe this is a farewell for you. And I was like, not that I'm aware of. So I will be here. Believe it or not, I'm a few years. Wendy's here. Hi. But I am a few, while David and I are around the same age, I'm still a few years away from retirement. So in any event, I would love to invite our cantor, David Goldstein, to join me for this next. So these are ones we know. We can all sing these together because in many ways, these kind of become like our songs. So as we know, Hashkiveinu is a nighttime prayer. Someone actually asked me earlier, is David Polish again with another wise question? If you've talked to those children, they're often filled with very wise questions. And David said, is your family coming tonight? I was like, no, I don't even know if my family knows where I am right now. And then he was like, are your kids like your music? And I was like, I don't think my kids even know I have music. And he was like, that's probably how it should be. And so when Noah, who's our older daughter, is now 7, when she was like a little kid, she was one of these kiddos who would take forever to go to sleep. And so often Cody or whoever's turn it was to put her to bed would just be in there rocking for hours and then singing songs. And then I was like, wouldn't it be so awesome? Jewish tradition says that you say Shema before you go to sleep, and you recite the words to Hashkiveinu, where you ask God to watch over you. How cool would that be? And I was like, maybe I'll write a melody for my kids. That'd be so special. And so I worked on this, and I did, and I shared it with some people, and they're like, we really like this. And then one day, I started singing it to the kids, and they just said, stop. So they're not here, so we can sing this. Hashkiveinu, Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu, shomreinu, l'chaim, l'chaim. Let there be love, guard us with peace, strength and compassion for all in need. Shield us from hate, illness and war. Watch over us as we go forward. Hashkiveinu, Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu, shomreinu, l'chaim. Fill us with hope, grace and truth. May we all return to you. Keep us safe tonight. May we rise in a new life. Hashkiveinu, Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu, shomreinu, l'chaim, 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 l'chaim. We're going to do one more song, which this song started. It was one of the many things I love about working with Cantor Goldstein is that at least once a year he would often say to me, "Let's meet and talk about what's next. What are we doing next? What else are we doing? What else are you doing?" And he would always say to me, which I always appreciated. He's like, "I don't want you to get bored here. I don't want you to feel like you're just here to sing songs with kids, or you're just here to do like one thing. I want this to be something where you have space to grow and try things and go out and do them elsewhere." And one day Cantor said, "What if we," or for a while we would say, he's like, "Maybe we'll write a song together." Great. And then we finally one time we met and we wrote and we sat down and I said, what do you have in mind? He said, "Well, there's this text in the end of Modi Manachnu Lach, which has this word Selah in it." And Selah at this point was like a thing here. And now it's like one of these things where when I was with Selah this past Sunday, those kids who were like high school kids now, they were like, what do you mean there wasn't a Selah at one point? There's always been Selah. What do you mean? We remember being like 3 and sitting at Lador Vador services, and there they were so cool. And now we're in Selah. It's like, yes, this used to not be a thing. And it's become a thing because Cantor had the vision to say, let's invest in this and let's plant these seeds. And like this teaching I've heard about a bamboo tree, how you plant a bamboo tree, a seed, and you water it for 7 years. And it's just a pile of dirt. And then eventually, year 7, it then will grow like 6 feet. And so that we have these gardens that we tend to, and some gardens require a lot of attention, and others we just sprinkle a little water on periodically, and we make these investments and we let things grow. And so Cantor and I sat and we pretty quickly wrote this song, and then I think the following Shabbat shared it with the community in this room, and then now people here sing. Now this is like we have to sing that song. That's when we don't sing this song. People come up to us at the Einai and like, you guys didn't sing this song that we all love so much. Why didn't you do that? And I go to other places and sing that song. And so it will be an honor for me, and I will speak for Cantor, if you all will join us in singing our song, a song of gratitude, which is Selah. So thank you so much for being here tonight, of course, and please you can show your love with your voice.
החיים יודוך סלע, סלע,
סלע, סלע. בכל החיים יודוך סלע,
סלע, סלע, סלע. ויהללו את שמך באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו. סלע, סלע, סלע.
בכל החיים יודוך סלע,
סלע, סלע, סלע.
בכל החיים יודוך סלע,
סלע, סלע.
ברוך
אתה אדוני,
הטוב שמך ולך נאה. לכבודו
Selah, 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 Selah,
Selah, Selah,
Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah, Selah.
Sing it out.
Selah, Selah, Selah,
Selah. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'll see you again in a couple weeks. Okay?
Well, thank you all for being here. Please join us Sunday. What time is the concert Sunday? 11 a.m. So this Sunday you'll have an opportunity to hear Alan again, but this Sunday is a little different because you'll have a chance to hear the work that he did with some of the younger kids, K through 2, 3, and 4 will be singing with Alan this Sunday, and I think there might even be a song that is offered then, but I'm not sure. You're sure? Is this another thing that?
No,
okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
But please keep your eyes peeled for the next concerts. In the back of this program, you see that we have 2 Ravidius Staines Music Institute concerts coming up in June and July. Thank you again to Lori. Thank you so much. And to the Lasky family, thank you for all that you have done over the years. I had one of the first opportunities I had when I arrived at this congregation was to work with Lori's mom, Elaine, and we put on an unbelievable concert with the Da Capo ensemble, and all these years later to be doing this, and as I'm finishing up my tenure here, what an honor for me to be a part of this, and thank you for bringing this to us, and Larry and Estelle, we've been working together for 19 years, and here we are. So I look forward to seeing what's happening Sunday and hearing what's happening, and thank you for being here. I hope that your souls, your spirits are lifted just a little bit more because of what we've experienced here tonight. Shabbat Shalom.